Do you think is there precedent for this? When you look back in history,
Yeah.
Or as a scientist, and you look at, I don't know, leaps of understanding, or has there been anything like this before? A great deceit, or a great conceit, or has anything been done like this before, or has it simply not been possible before?
I want to answer that with, I think it's a yes and no. Okay. I think there are 1,000 precedents. Every piece of this has happened somewhere with the exception of something highly technical. But the sum total of what has happened here, I'm pretty sure is novel. And, I said at the beginning of COVID, I don't know if I said it into a camera, but I think I did. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened. And I meant that, and I wasn't forgetting about world wars or anything like it, but there was something about this that it really truly was global, right? It's even a world war. There are places it doesn't touch, right? This was a potentially galvanizing moment across the entire globe. And of course, something interrupted that galvanizing process. But the way in which whatever has happened on the far side of that has put us together, has created a global conversation. It has burned out many of the tools that, whatever that antagonistic force is, their best tools are evaporating on them, right? They have called attention. There are too many people aware of the tricks. And, some people will hover at the edge and maybe they'll go back to imagining that the world is normal, but a lot of people won't. So I think the answer is no. I think this is the net outgrowth here is unprecedented.
It's interesting to me that what made a lot of it possible if there was a cabal that decided this is the time to press the button, it was the internet that made it possible. For example, the whole working from home, everyone being able to retreat to their hutches and be isolated one from another, ordering food, ordering everything that you wanted. For a lot of people, it was possible for the first time. And ironically or paradoxically, the seeds of their undoing are in the tool that made it possible, because the internet also made it possible for all of us to reach out to each other. They were able to bring the internet to bear as part of how they were able to get us all organized in the way that they wanted us organized. But the internet has also freed us. There's a bug in the system that they weren't aware of, and it's their undoing. They thought they thought the internet is here, we can do it now, let's go. But within the internet has been the seeds of their undoing. I think that is it's the way in which we've been able to mine information, share information, circulate it around the globe, get it into each other's hands, and that'll be their undoing.
So I'll try to do it quickly, but I have a model for this. There is a ratio of conspiracy that goes into whatever has happened, and then there's emergent phenomena that aren't conspiratorial, they're not conscious. We don't know what the admixture is, right? But it's some is there conspiracy involved here? Well, yeah, you've got big pharma and fiduciary responsibility, which is another way of saying that there's a conspiracy of people trying to do something in their interests, which consider our interests unimportant. So yeah, there's some conspiracy. But here's the thing. The emergent part is effectively, we can call that it's an evolved product. It's an adaptive product of evolution in the very real sense. Now here's the important part. To the extent that part of what we are up against is an emergent property and not a conscious group of people who think about how to outfox us, that thing will have a couple of characteristics. One, it will be ferociously powerful, right? But it will be stupid about anything it hasn't seen before, right? The fact of it being a product of evolution tells you it will be good inside the zone that built it, and it will be a moron when it runs up against things that it hasn't encountered. Now that is what you're talking about.
It's like, I keep on thinking about the Sheldon Cooper character in Big Bang Theory, the big brain. He's this.
I haven't watched.
Oh, the premise is that it's the four cleverest guys in California all live together, and they have their understanding of the world. And Sheldon Cooper is a kind of autistic savant, and he's incredibly smart. He's a genius level individual, but he's continually outsmarted and undone by the woman who lives across the hall from him. She's just a regular Joe, regular Jane, but she's got human empathies and street smarts and other characteristics that he simply cannot ever allow for because he's never felt them. And they're his undoing every time. So it's like the world's being taken over by someone who lacks something crucial. There's a crucial absence, and that is what's going to bring them down. They're not allowing for humanity. Humanity is an extraordinary event. We've been here for 200, 300,000 years as Homo sapiens, and we've been here for millions of years as variations on the same theme. And it's not by accident that we've lasted this long. And we've got all sorts of innate characteristics. The human animal everyone's excited about artificial intelligence and all the rest of it, but the flesh and blood and bone human animal is the most extraordinary thing that the universe has ever seen. And you can't outwit it. And something that lacks that empathic connection to humanity is trying to run humanity. And it doesn't fundamentally understand the animal that it's trying to control. And that's why the animal will get away from it. We will get away from them because they don't understand us, and they don't really appreciate what we're capable of.